Welcome to Grace Today, a daily vlog designed to encourage you and equip you with the Word of God. Let's begin.
Well, all right, friends, one more day of thinking on what we learned on Sunday from Zechariah chapter 5 and these two visions that show us really how God deals with sin, that he is through his word revealing and condemning sin, that he is through his common grace restraining sin through his sovereign kind hand. And then the last truth that we looked at on Sunday that this passage reveals to us is that God will ultimately remove sin, that God will ultimately and finally deal with sin. Now let's picture it here in brief in the carrying off of Lady Wickedness and the ephod to Babylon where it will be exalted. But we know that, as we talked about on Sunday, as we compare this with parallel passages in Revelation, that this Lady Wickedness will be dealt with. We'll see this coming Sunday as we look at chapter 6, but also we see this in Revelation, that the harlot of Babylon is ultimately judged and condemned. And so we know that there is coming a day when God will fully and finally deal with sin and remove sin even from the presence of his people. We will live eternally with him, freed from sin and freed from the curse. And this is glorious, glorious truth. So as we mentioned on Sunday, as we think about all these things together, that God reveals and condemns sin in his word, that he currently is restraining sin, and that there is coming a day when he'll remove sin, this should ultimately lead us to a greater trust in the Lord and his sovereign providence over all of history. It should lead us to be comforted in knowing what he is doing and that where this is all leading. And it should lead us to long for that day when we will be freed from sinning. So let me encourage you to spend some time meditating on these truths today, praising the Lord for his sovereign care and control over all of human history, for his just and right responses to sin, and ask him to give you a greater longing for that day when sin is fully and finally dealt with. That day when we will be ushered into eternity with him, freed from all effects of the curse. Oh, what a glorious day. We should always long for that day and live in expectation of that day. What a blessing this is, and I pray that it's an encouragement to you as you begin your day. I love you, Grace Community, and I'm praying for you. Have a great day.
Thanks for tuning in to Grace Today. For more information on Grace Community Baptist Church of Elgin, Texas, and how you can support this ministry, check out the links in the description below. See you tomorrow.